What do you
And
want? What can I tell you? If I knew, I would tell you.
you don't seem to know anything. I mean, you believe in witches and ghosts and everything. It doesn't help me knowing more about the scoop or why it broke or what's happening. Apparently, you should know about where we were going, but you don't. You just take information that has already been given to you by people who've done the work. And I think that's lazy and boring. And I'm going to do the same thing you did to my father, doing nothing. Goodbye. And I walk away.
Brutal. Well, in
Oh,
that case,
great.
I don't have a conflict for you in that case, which is
No,
so
no.
sad. But okay.
I think Mark doesn't see any reason.
Right.
He doesn't see a reason to save Gregory
Uh-huh.
if Gregory didn't do anything to stop this with the father, which it wasn't shown.
Okay. So what happens with Nia or with Helma or with Sam? Or yeah.
I
Mark doesn't know that Nia lives, right?
So does Helma or Sandra? Do you want to start a scene?
Yeah, I have something in mind. I don't know really how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. Because I was thinking after all of this, if decisions had to be made and I was saved and so on, after that, when, they take me to have some, proper discussions with details and because they want to know more because something has been going on. And so I show them, more details about the records, things that I've seen in the secret underground on the in Moonville.
Right.
And
you are carefully reassured that all of this critical information will be treated very carefully and brought to the right people.
Yeah.
So Sandra, where will you be?
In Dr. Keller's office.
Excellent. I miss Dr. Keller. I'm happy to play him again.
And with us is Keith.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all the scientists.
Yes, and the head of the universe over satellite.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole meeting.
Mm-hmm. Let's say that the ship's route has finally taken it to a point where they can have direct contact.
Yeah.
Probably bounced off of a moon somewhere or something like that along the way.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because I think it seems reasonable that they would want to know more.
Okay. So,
yes, I was thinking we're having this meeting. They ask me about things. They talk to Keith and to this man at the universe about, what files and recordings he got and what he thinks of it. And Dr. Keller speaks about what he thinks of everything. And they...
okay, well, let's see. This fellow's name is Dr. Geller.
Geller? Oh, I thought it was Keller.
No. The fellow you know is Keller.
Okay.
This other guy's name is Dr. Geller with a G.
Yeah,
and
okay.
He, even though the names have exactly the same linguistic background, this is a skinny little German guy. Dr. Geller is very interested, but I'm afraid that the two people with you are not at their best. Keith is trying to impress too much. Keith is trying to make the whole thing incredibly important, and incredibly, he's bragging about how this could be the basis of a new technology, about how it, all the different kinds of properties and branding can come out of this, and he's gotten very excited. He's even electing himself to be like a research director or something. When he gets back to Earth, he's starting to get really excited about this. Dr. Keller, on the other hand, all of this contact with official university people is bringing out his grumpy side. And he is starting to become unnecessarily snarky and sarcastic. and say things like, well, I mean, it must be nice when you have the support of your colleagues all through your career. And and basically, Dr. Geller is a very nice little fellow, and he's having a hard time dealing with all of these neurotic responses. You are in between Keith and Dr. Keller, and neither of them is really showing their best side. They're both good people, but they've got their quirks, as you have seen. And so the there's only one person who can save the situation and manage to get this project approved, manage to get the university's support for this while you're still on board the ship, and to give you guys proper credit. Only one person can save the day now, and that is Nia. If she
I'm
wants
going to the toilet. I'm going to the toilet, so I'm
Mhm.
I'll wait for him then.
Oh, okay.
Or should I
No,
continue?
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Um, so yes, that to me. Unless there is something else that you want to drive for, right? To achieve that I am overrunning, let me know. But if not, then I'm ready to draw cards for this.
I was
Serve them coffee and muffins.
I was kind of thinking, like in the long term, that they see Nia got potential, even though she's doing a bit too much sometimes. But they do see the value in her taking risks, and that is a valuable trait.
Right. Okay.
And that she would go under as not be hired, but work with Dr. Keller or
Right.
Dr. Geller
Yes.
as underling. I don't know what to say, student or
Right.
something under
Yes.
them, and work with them. And sometimes she will get into trouble, and
Well,
they-
you are presenting yourself as as a high potential student and assistant, mainly because of your, well, as you say, your willingness to try things. So
Yeah.
okay, so all right, I can see you making this case. Are you kind of going to try to shut up Keith and Dr. Keller a little bit so you can make this point?
yes,
Okay.
I'll just sit there and just be quiet, and eventually they all just wait. Nia hasn't said anything, and everyone's just looking at me and like,
Right.
great,
Yes.
thank you.
I see. Yes. Well, so Mark, so Nia is going to finally let them realize that they are filling the air with their male nonsense, and then they will finally let her talk. And so then she has presented herself as, yes, I cause trouble. I am a troublemaker, but I am the kind of troublemaker who has good ideas and things come about, and I want to be an assistant. I want the university involved. I will work with, if basically she's advocating for all three of them to become part of the university system, and have a different status. And she's selling it on the basis of not, oh, I am so cooperative, I am so obedient, I will just do my job, but more like, look out, I'm in the room now.
I'm enthusiastic, I would say. Cause trouble sounds a little bit negative.
Yeah, that's true. But
I can send a fan mail for that.
well, there's no audience
That's
pool
the
left.
thing,
The audience pool is empty. So
but not for long.
not for long. Not for long. So let's wait on that while I pull.
Because I didn't have a conflict.
I have, of course, no reason to hold back on budget. I really don't have any reason to hold back on budget ever, unless I'm saving for something really nasty that I have in mind later in the session. So we are beginning with Sandra at a base of 1. And what is kind of interesting is that you are not hiding, you are not sneaking.
But she's getting a fan mail.
Yes. Well, hold on. I'm just looking right now. I'm just looking at their traits.
Okay.
I will involve Keith. I think that is fair. So, so it's just 2 cards there. Now 5 points have just gone into the audience pool.
That's -1 to Nia.
Okay.
-1 from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Send it away.
Okay. So in that case, you have 3
I'm
fan
unmuting myself and giving her a fan
Okay.
mail also.
Yes.
Send it away. Send it away.
Sandra, you're
The
looking
girl needs a career.
are you looking at 4 fan mail here? Are you going to use them?
I will, but
You will.
before we do all of that, I would like to add a little detail to the
Of
conversation,
course.
and that is that they say, "So, what was up with the muffins?"
Oh no. Wait, there's something here about muffins. What does that have to do with anything?
And they're like, "Well, that wasn't me."
Right. When you say that wasn't me, the 2 men, Dr. Keller and Keith, simultaneously say nothing. And there are 3 completely innocent faces in a row. Right? So as I understand it, this conflict is your ticket up, your ticket into a different life, your opportunity for a whole different way of life for you, a chance to be yourself a little bit more, right? And for
Yes.
you to have more to do in your job than just separating chemical components in lumps of stupid clay. So, okay, in that case, you are in a lot of trouble.
I usually am. Oh, that's a bit.
Ooh, that's brutal.
5 red cards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I will use all of my.
Right. You have 2 red cards in your base, so that's good. Ugh. Oh my god. Ugh. 2 red cards in your fan mail. Ugh.
4.
So that's not going to work out for you. 2 of those will go into the bag, 2 go back into the budget.
It's a little sad that we can't say, I'll use my fan mail afterwards.
I know. But on the other hand, we have an ace in Sandra's cards. So Sandra, unfortunately, you get to damage and you get to do the terrible thing to your character.
Okay, so
Your effort has failed. All of this is for nothing, or maybe for something, but not for what you wanted.
Okay, so my goals are. Okay, so they. Dr. Keller and Geller, they, take some time to think about what I said, and they start to discuss between each other about everything that I've done and that has happened. And they will say that you, unless it was for all of these things, you would have made a great partner, so great to work with. But we can't have that, not as an employee. Perhaps sometime we will seek you out and maybe ask for some sort of help,
Right.
but we can't take you in. We can let you keep the job you have, and you are spared from your crimes and your betrayal.
Oh man. Okay. So, what about? I'm very curious. What about Keith? Are they going to promote him and leave you behind, or are they going to have him stay where he is too?
They just look at Keith and say, "You try too hard. Get over yourself."
Oh, okay, right. Exactly. Okay. All right. So,
But thank you for the information you
Right.
gave me regarding all of this.
oh man. So the call finishes, and the 3 of you are sitting, looking at each other, going, Oh no, we got nowhere. We got absolutely nowhere.